A triple-double is the accumulation of a double-digit number total in 3 of the 5 categories in the game. The most common way to achieve a triple-double is through points, rebounds, and assists.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome into another episode of the Triple Double No Assist podcast. I am Dustin Brewer. Joining me is Cameron Heffernan.
As always.
Yeah, basically at this point. So today we're going to cover some of the biggest stories that happened in the NBA over the weekend. I thought we were going to be leading with the Clippers, but it turns out the Oklahoma City Thunder are just blowing it up.
Yeah, it's a full rebuild mode. It's just reconstruction from the ground up, scorched earth.
It's the most scorched earth, it's like a 2K team. Like when you're like, all right, well, rebuild, trade everything.
Yes, absolutely. I've done this many times.
As have I.
Trade and rebuild.
If you haven't heard the news, what happened over the weekend, Paul George requested a trade from the Thunder, was traded to the Clippers for a record number of picks in this haul. The Thunder get back Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari, along with 5 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps.
Yes, one of those picks included is Miami's 2021 first-round pick, yes.
So a lot of picks,
all
a big haul.
Unprotected.
All unprotected.
For,
the Miami one.
No, the Miami one's unprotected. That's why before they got Jimmy Butler and everything, that was like a really good-looking pick. But now if they get Jimmy Butler, and now we're seeing that, according to reports from Woj, Miami is looking as the front-runner for a possible Russell Westbrook trade. Because he, obviously with the Thunder, just kind of reconstruct. I mean, maybe I'm just thinking this now, but like maybe they're going back to Seattle and it's just like let's start over from the top. Because
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I'd feel bad for Oklahoma City fans, but if they came back to Seattle, that'd be cool. I'd be right back
they
in.
Have up to, what did you say, 13?
Yeah, between now
picks.
and 2026, they're sitting on a stash of a potential 13 first-round picks, which is absolutely
an entire
insane.
Team of possible superstars, especially if your team literally consists of Steven Adams. Like if you trade Russell Westbrook, then your next best player is Steven Adams.
Who would have thought he'd be the last one?
Yeah, that New Zealand market really rakes in a lot of dough for Oklahoma.
And then this morning,
know if that's true.
That's probably. But this morning, the Thunder continued stripping it down for parts. They traded Jeremy Grant over to the Denver Nuggets,
which was actually really surprising. That I figured maybe keep
the younger players.
He was serviceable.
He's a good young. He doesn't have the shooting as well, but he's a really good defender. He had a really good year last year next to Paul George. But so the team that did trade for Paul George and gave up all these assets, the Clippers. This came out of nowhere, right? Like this was a pretty big. Yeah. I got out of the movies Friday night and saw my phone and thought oh, this is fake. Something's got to be up here.
Yeah.
So Kawhi signs with the Clippers, but apparently before that he told them, "Hey, I'll hold off on signing anywhere and everything, and I'll just stall. You go get an extra superstar for me to play with, aka go get Paul George, and we're gonna make this happen, and we're gonna both come here." And Kawhi is pretty good at keeping his image low. But this shit, this is unbelievable. Sneaking around, he apparently told the Lakers to move meeting locations multiple times so that after the meeting he could go covertly meet up with Paul George to talk about teaming up. That's some serious stuff. I heard someone compare it to, the end of The Godfather.
Yeah, no, I'm sure people have... part of me feels like a lot of teams are doing damage control right now, saying, oh, this, that, just... that maybe they didn't know what was actually going on, and no one has known what's going on, and information is power in the NBA, and no one wants to look stupid, especially being made stupid by a player, essentially.
Right.
A player and a franchise known for basically being the ugly bastard child of the NBA,
the stepchild,
and the Los Angeles market in general. What I personally think happened is that it was apparent that the Thunder had this idea that they could get a rebuild out of this, that maybe the Clippers knew that they were getting Kawhi. They knew he had this idea of pairing with a superstar. Now we have pairs of superstars all over. But pairing with someone, and possibly it could be known that Paul George is available because maybe he has buyer's remorse or something of that nature with the contract that he signed and things like that. And they've realized they're not getting past the other powerhouses in the West. Maybe not even past Utah next year, you know?
They could be a first-round exit again.
Yeah, and it could just be a first-round exit over and over again. So that's why I feel it's maybe not this deception, the end of the Godfather type setup.
Making moves.
It's more, I think, a businessman who's actually smart was involved, which would be Steve Ballmer and Jerry West. These are smart, genius-level NBA executives. Jerry West being the one who constructed the Shaq trade and things like that. He drafted. I don't think he drafted the Steph Curry in Golden State. But either way, he essentially
helped build that. No, he talked them out of the Klay Thompson for Kevin Love trade.
Yes,
that was his. He was like, nah, we should keep Klay.
Yeah, so I personally think that maybe these teams, the Lakers, the Raptors a little bit, got outsmarted. I think with the Raptors, Kawhi essentially did what he was supposed to do. He doesn't owe them anything.
Right, he had his 1 year.
As much as I think he should come back and defend, and as much as Toronto fans come back and defend and just be something that Toronto hasn't gotten to experience, at least they have that one. I mean, they're an expansion team who really no one outside of Toronto ever gave a shit if they ever won a title.
Right.
And now they're a part of history. Like, they're a part of NBA history as champions. The Memphis Grizzlies, the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks. Well, no, I think the Hawks do have a championship, so never mind. But there's other expansion teams that just, they don't have that. The Kings, the Suns, they've been there. They've been close, there, but never won it because they never really had that extra thing that put them over. Kawhi was that thing for the Raptors. They got the chips with the dip,
as Drake likes to likes to say,
and they've really have nothing to whine about. They still have a good team that'll make the playoffs, but they're not going to win the East next year.
Right. So then, do you want to talk about the Clippers or the Thunder first, in terms of like where the teams go from here?
I think we should pivot back to the Thunder, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll talk about the Thunder.
Because look, the Clippers haven't made. They got Kawhi. They got Paul George. They've pretty much have the nucleus of the team that surprisingly made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, the only real loss is Gallinari and Gilgeous.
Yeah, and even then, Gallinari is being replaced with Kawhi Leonard, and Gilgeous Alexander is being replaced with Paul George.
Essentially, yeah.
So
they brought back Beverly. They still have Lou Will. They still have Montrez. They still
have Zubac.
They re-signed Zubac. Yeah.
And they brought in Maurice Harkless and a few other people.
Oh, they still have
Landry Shamet.
Yeah, he's still.
You know, that little piece that was thrown in by the Sixers.
Yeah, that little throw-in. But, okay, so the Thunder, they're looking now, it's probably going to be a full rebuild. They'll probably move Russ in the next couple weeks.
I think Russ is moved before the season, absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know next couple of weeks, but I think he's moved before the season at least. Miami is now, I guess, on the radar. Orlando was another one, but I think that they're really going to be like, hey, where do you want to go? So that's why, it'll probably be Miami.
So is that where you think, where would you, if you were Russ, where would you want to go if you were given your choice?
If I were Russell Westbrook?
If they were like, hey, where do you want to go?
I would go to the Lakers.
And be like, all right, let's do this.
That's what I would try my hardest to do, is to go to the Lakers. But I think that his style of play would absolutely tank that team hard. And Kuzma would have to be a part of whatever trade brought that in. And I don't think they have salaries to match his salary. So I think that trade is impossible.
Unless they traded LeBron.
No, I don't think they'd do that. I wouldn't do that. That would be foolish. But the Miami scenario, I think if it's Dragic and a few other, probably Dragic and Winslow, and then a pick or two.
Right.
Most likely is for Russ. And then you have Russell Westbrook. Tyler Johnson?
No, Tyler Hero. They got rid of Tyler Johnson. He's in Phoenix now.
Oh, yeah.
So you would have Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Russell Westbrook. And really, I think that's about it. Because they gave up a lot to get Jimmy. They gave up Josh Richardson to get Jimmy. So you'd really be kind of committing to those guys.
Whiteside
to Portland.
Portland.
For Myers Leonard.
Yeah.
So never mind. Yeah, go join Myers Leonard. Make another super team in the East.
Yeah, with Myers Leonard.
Jimmy and Russell and Myers Leonard.
Yeah, but that would be really interesting to see Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook together. That's.
Do you think they'd get along?
No.
No?
No. That's like a ball for me first alpha dog. Hero ball extraordinaire. Like just who. That's why there's no team around them.
Yeah.
If their plan is to ultimately get Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler together, don't have anybody serviceable around them because the ball is continuously going to be in either one of their hands throughout the game, no matter what.
Speaking of someone serviceable, I forgot about a player on the roster, Dion Waiters.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh,
there it is.
Sorry. So, 48 minutes in a basketball game.
That's 48 shots for Dion Waiters.
Yeah, each one of them get a quarter. And then they have to split the fourth quarter. That's essentially what the Heat's game plan will be.
It's all heat check in the fourth quarter.
It's absolute just like whoever's got the hot hand in the fourth gets to play the fourth as the primary ball.
Everyone else sits. Russ, you sit. A big thing coming out now is everyone saying like, man, what must be wrong with Russ? If KD will up and leave, but then afterwards be like, oh, Russ is a great guy. And then Paul George is like, we have unfinished business. A year ago when he signed his extension, they were all partying, had the party, had the cigars, had the Instagram picture, had a Nas concert at his contract announcement.
Well, I think when you have a chance to win a game and it's a wide open three for him and he clanks it off the side of the backboard in the playoffs and you watch that throughout the season and things like that, you probably go, hey, I'm never winning anything with this guy. And when Kawhi Leonard comes and is like, hey, man, want to come like play with me in LA? And you're like, oh shit, you just won a championship by yourself with old ass Marc Gasol and shitty Kyle Lowry. Like, yeah, I want to come play with you.
Yeah,
LA
that sounds
on
great.
The Clippers, where it's like replace Kyle Lowry with Pat Beverly, Kyle Lowry that can play defense.
So then the Thunder probably moving Russ. I thought maybe like if he got traded somewhere like to Minnesota or Milwaukee. If the Thunder were like, hey, we're gonna take on a bunch of bad contracts and we're gonna do this and just like collect assets that way.
I feel like they have to like trade them where they get something back.
Not just the picks.
Yeah, I don't know. At least to protect themselves from their fans, like rioting or something like that.
Yeah, that's true too. But I mean, I thought somewhere like that might be a good spot for him. Somewhere that would you rather have Eric Bledsoe or Russell Westbrook? If I'm the Bucks, I would think about it at least.
Yeah, send all your first picks and do the same thing. Just 7 first-round picks and Eric Bledsoe.
To the Thunder for Russell Westbrook. The Thunder just literally have every first-round pick, every pick of the first round in one of these drafts.
And for the Milwaukee Bucks, they're just like, here's the 28th round. Here's the 28th overall pick.
Right.
In the first round. Cool.
But, so I don't know. I'll be interested. But, all this stuff about people, you can't win with Russ. You can't do... If we were at the gym or if we were going to play a pickup game, would you want Russell on your team? Would you want to play with Westbrook?
Yeah. I mean, if Russell Westbrook was the only NBA caliber player on the court, where it's just a bunch of dudes, just a bunch of guys playing a pickup game, and then here comes Russell Westbrook, and now we're shooting for teams, or we're shooting for captains, and then we're picking teams, and I get first pick, I'm going to pick Russell Westbrook. Because the only person on that court is who can dunk or play at an NBA level is Russell Westbrook. But,
if you were an NBA player, you wouldn't...
Hell yeah. I mean, he can get a triple-double. It's nothing. I mean, it's not like he... As long as you figure out a way to keep the ball out of his hands in fairly important situations, you're fine. Give him, the first 10 minutes, and then as long as you save the 2 minutes for yourself, you're good. Right. So
is that just an issue where he's too prideful, or he hasn't been in the right system where a coach can...
No, I just think he's a glory hog. I just think that it's, he thinks he's the best player on the court, no matter what. If LeBron's out there, if Steph is out there, if Clay, if
Isn't that what
KD,
you want though?
Anyone is he? Yes, you
want your guy to be like, I'm the man.
Yes. But you also want them to have just a hint of reality. of the reality of the situation. That KD is better than you. That James Harden is better than you. That shit, maybe Kyrie Irving might be better than you.
Do you think, and this would probably never happen, but let's say tomorrow we wake up and he was traded.
Dame Lillard's definitely better than him.
And he was traded to the Spurs. Do you think like that type of system would fix anything, or do you think he'd be the same player?
No, I don't think they'd touch him with a 1,000-foot pole.
But is that just because he's going to play the way he plays and that's it?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
So then, yeah, Miami would be an interesting spot.
Yeah, because I mean, Spo is just going to be like, whatever, dude.
Whatever, yeah.
I've got mine. I have 2 rings. I've been living and working in Miami for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I've been
15 years. I mean, he was a tape guy for Miami before that. Before he was a coach.
Before he got the job, yeah.
He was working in the system of Miami, so it's like that guy's been under Pat Riley's tutelage in Miami for about 15 years now.
So, I mean, yeah, you can't really...
He's living the life.
He's like, whatever.
He's good.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm sure he'll probably...
That would probably be the best coaching situation for Russell Westbrook, too.
Spoelstra?
Yeah. Eric Spoelstra just be like, yeah, man, all right, Jimmy, you... That's what I said. It's like, look, you guys take a quarter.
Figure this out.
As long as we're, up or down by 5, and that's it. In the 4th, then we'll figure it out, you know?
And then when winning time comes around, we'll figure it out.
Like, he had to balance Dwayne Wade and LeBron James.
And Chris Bosh, too. But Bosh was willing to sacrifice. Yeah,
something tells me Chris Bosh is a real team player.
I get that vibe as well.
Even though he thinks he's an alpha, like he's going out there as an alpha dog, I think Chris Bosh understands the sacrifice he has to make sometimes to
definitely
win. Whereas like those real pig-headed alpha dogs are just like, no, I got this. I think that's LeBron's problem sometimes because he's not that clutch. He's great, but there's times where like down to the end of it, if someone is able to guard him, he will fuck it up. That's the thing.
That's that pressure.
Yeah.
Once that pressure hits.
He's not good with pressure in his face or on him. Just look at those like deep, like all those clutch threes and shit are deep as shit.
He just pulls,
and it's like someone is like way off him and stuff. You know,
it's like the second he gets some space, he doesn't care. He's like, I'm gonna put it
I'll
up.
just fucking wing it. It's like, it goes in. Which is great. I mean, I'm not knocking.
No, yeah, there's no...
He's like the 7th or 8th greatest player of all time.
Coming in with the hot takes. So that was the last team we wanted to talk about. We talked about the Thunder. We talked about the Clippers a bit. So we got to talk about the Lakers and where it stands for the Lakers. Because all the fans were basically printing the Kawhi jerseys up until he made his announcement that it's the Clippers. Up until...
Lakers, Clippers, Thunder.
Up until that news broke.
We did the TCL.
We did the TCL.
Thunder, Clippers, Lakers.
But, so now the Lakers immediately went into panic mode after that Kawhi news dropped.
Hell yeah.
Gave out a ton of money. Re-signed JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
No, the Caldwell-Pope signing, I think, was before Kawhi. Because they wrapped up like $16 million of the $30 million or whatever in max salary space and 2 people the day before.
Well, the most they gave 15 or 16 million to Danny Green.
Danny Green, that's 80 a year, yeah.
And then they signed Boogie Cousins to a minimum.
Yeah, but that's I think it's 1 year, $5 million.
They just today signed Avery Bradley for 2 years, like $9 million.
I know.
With their mid-level exception.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're still waiting on buyout news for J.R. Smith, Andre Iguodala, Kyle Korver. There's a few players that are rumored to be interested in the Lakers.
Yeah.
And, you know...
A lot of old, very past their prime.
Can't really defend.
Can't really make baskets. I'm not worried about defense. I'm worried about these dudes able to score. Like at some point, LeBron... or Anthony Davis is going to have to rest.
Right. That's what I've been saying is I don't know, how it's going to go, but so Kawhi going to the Clippers and forming this new power duo with Paul George. How do you feel about the Lakers still? Because Anthony Davis and LeBron is still
I felt about the Lakers, I feel the same way. They're a really good playoff team that's either going to make the Western Conference Finals or be bounced in the second round.
Right. So
like, that's it.
So none of these signings they've made have swayed how you feel?
No, God no. Why would that? Well, oh, cool. DeMarcus Cousins, who was a fucking obvious liability in the finals last year or against the Raptors. Like, he had one good game.
Right.
One good game, and then the rest of it was him just being destroyed. Big guys, little guys blowing past him. It did not matter. That dude was a liability and part of the reason why the Warriors lost the finals. Because if he had shown up and played big at all, or even just played good, just good, not great, just good, they had a fucking opportunity. But no, he was absolute trash. And I think he's fucking done.
Oh, how could I forget? They re-signed the God, Alex Caruso.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then they also brought in Quinn Cook and Jared Dudley.
Yeah, Quinn Cook, Jared. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
So
Definitely.
let's do this. Here's the roster for the Lakers next year. Pick your starting five.
Jared Dudley had that cute game one for the Nets and then got fucking rocked.
Well, he also
4 straight games.
He also fought the entire 76ers team by himself.
But he also got rocked the next 4 games.
Oh, definitely.
Defensively and offensively, like.
So, out of this Lakers roster,
it's going to be Rondo, Pope.
You think start KCP?
It's going to be Rondo, Pope. Well, I don't know. Will they start Green?
Well, they just said that they were going to start LeBron at the point guard.
Oh, yeah.
I just read that today before we started. That he's going to be at the point.
So it'll be LeBron.
Danny Green.
Probably Danny Green.
Kuzma.
No, Kuzma's going to play the 4. They'll keep him at the 4. It'll be Kuzma and then... Oh, Jesus. Who do they put there?
I think that's why I think it's Kuzma. I think it's Kuzma at the 3, Davis at the 4, and then McGee or
And they
Boogie.
start Cousins? I don't think they can start Cousins.
I think they're going to.
I really don't.
I think they're going to start McGee or they're going to start Cousins. Because Davis has said he doesn't want to play the center. Like, he's never wanted to play the center in his career.
Yeah. Well, okay, there you go. They're going to be a big, slow team. It's gonna be bad.
That's what I was thinking. Is they're just going to be...
Here's how you beat the Lakers. Run.
just run up and down the court.
Run. Because, Anthony Davis is going to have to do everything, too.
I think at some point they're going to start Quinn Cook at point. I think they'll do this LeBron experiment at point guard for a bit, and then I think they're going to slide him over. Maybe move Kuz to the 4 and Davis to the 5, but I think the more likely thing would be they would bring Kuz in off the bench and have an actual true point guard start, whether it be Rondo or Quinn Cook. But I think Quinn Cook will prove to be pretty valuable.
I just hate when they say point guard. Like, just, you know what? Let's just call it primary ball handler.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like positions really matter anymore now in today's.
And you know what?
Today's NBA.
As far as that, 2K, if you're listening, anyone at 2K, can we just get rid of the fucking positions? Because when I'm building lineups and shit, and somebody gets hurt, and all this other bullshit happens, and then I just want to do auto adjust my rotation, then now it has to be a forward and center. Even though I'm trying to set up this small ball lineup and stuff, it's like, no, fuck you. Here's a lumbering center that we're just gonna throw all the center into your run and gun game plan.
That happened to me a ton with
fucking stupid.
With Omri Caspi. I couldn't trade him, and it was every time someone got hurt, I had to adjust the lineup. I had to do it myself because otherwise they would give Omri Caspi 40 minutes because he was my only power forward.
Yeah.
My only true power forward. But anyways, was there anything else that struck you in the basketball world or in the TLC world? The Thunder Lakers Clippers?
I find it hilarious that it was the Clippers that did this. That if it's anything, it's the beginning of The Godfather 2, where somebody tries to assassinate Fredo. It's almost like the beginning of The Godfather 2. And Fredo setting up the assassination of Michael, right. And then it worked. Michael just dies. Michael got murdered, and Fredo becomes the head of the family. That's what the Clippers did. The Clippers are Fredo, and they killed Michael. And they really did kill Michael. I honestly, that the move of Kawhi and Paul George, and you have Pat Beverly, that's a defensive team that can
definitely.
Score.
It's going to be...
That's the fucked up thing. And Montrezl Harrell, who, even though they're probably not going to start him, they're going to start Zubac, but even then... Zubac is pretty athletic and up and down. They've got JaMychal Green, who's a very good forward, who's solid. They have a great team. Like, the Clippers have a really, really good team. The Lakers have a good team, too, but it's not, like, when I look at the LA team, I'm pissed because now cheap Clippers tickets are a fucking
That's
thing
what I was just
in the
going to
past.
say, is my go-to was always, go see the teams I like.
Yeah, play the Clippers.
Watch the Clipper games.
But now it's just like, okay, I guess I'm not going to any basketball games in California unless it's like I want to drive up to Sacramento.
Yeah, right. Even then, they might be
5 hours or some shit to go see a basketball game. Because I don't want to spend $100 for nosebleed tickets, but that's what it's going to be.
So, team execs, if you're hearing this, just let us come check out a game, and any game. We'll come hang out, check it out.
Stuff. We'll definitely give you really good press, the best press.
Oh man, that press,
so good.
So then yeah, I guess we'll end on this. When the Kawhi news broke, the Clippers jumped up to 11-4 odds to win the title.
Yeah.
Are they your prohibitive favorite now, do you think? Or?
Maybe. I still really like Golden State. I think they can flip D'Angelo for something and then maybe pick up, like, Clay will come in at the end and then pick up in the playoffs. And
right.
It'll just be like, oh, hey, yeah, these guys.
They're still really good. Yeah.
It's like, oh, Clay Thompson comes in the last month of the season and because his injury isn't as severe as KD's.
No, yeah, the ACL.
The ACL repaired. It's like, I think 5-6 months or so.
Yeah, I think he's projected back around February, March, like All-Star break.
So, and with a ruptured Achilles, that's, I think he's
at least probably this whole year.
Yeah,
and there's no incentive for him to rush it back.
Fuck Brooklyn, I think. Did I say that?
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So then, Clippers, Lakers. You think the Clippers will have the better record?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And I think the Clippers are going to follow the Toronto.
I think the Clippers are a 65 win team.
I think they're going to follow the Toronto school of load management, though.
Yeah, well, they can if the thing is, Paul George, we don't know with his shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, he had that shoulder surgery.
Kind of something to factor in.
He might not be ready, they said, until maybe like 2 or 3 weeks into the next season.
Yeah. And then there's Doc Rivers. Who's like a really good coach with a ragtag group of guys, but then when he gets like stars and stuff, it's a little rough.
Yes, that's true. We'll have to see how he holds it together. Did you hear the rumor, too?
What?
Was that Paul George dated Doc Rivers' daughter and then cheated on her? And, like, that's how they broke up. And then he started dating the girl he's with now.
Oh.
So, like, everyone was like, so how's that going to go over the first time, like, Paul George and Doc Rivers disagree on something?
Yeah, that I don't know.
So it could explode. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it's not going to be the Littlefinger experience, Game of Thrones style that we're going to get with the Lakers and Jason Kidd and Frank Vogel.
That's true.
Where it's like there's just this little gremlin all the time that's like coming for your job and you knowingly see that this guy is like, hey, LeBron and Jason Kidd are best friends.
They're at Summer League together right now.
Yeah. I'm just your coach. And it's going to, if the Lakers start off like 20-20, some shit like that, Vogel's the first. That's just done.
That's what I said too.
He's not going to get the whole Luke Walton treatment.
No, not
like here's like 3 years. Let's see how he does.
They're going to throw Jason Kidd in there immediately.
Immediately, yes, and it's going to be Braun's team, and it's going to be real interesting. I think there's more of a path of failure for the Lakers than there is for the Clippers.
I think so too. I think there's a higher risk, higher reward.
Yeah, I think even with the Clippers core there, they still like finish. So if like both teams had the same misfortune in their start, like LeBron fucks up his groin again, and this time he tears it, and Anthony Davis just like he gets injured the way he does all the time again, and Kawhi fucking breaks his leg and. Because like it never let it heal from whatever he injured, and Paul George, who knows? He gets an injury like
shoulder infection or something. Yeah,
something. And they're just like the teams without those stars. I still think the Clippers are like an 8-7 seed, like 7, 8 seed possibly,
Right.
and the Lakers are just a fucking terrible, like 24 win team, like 20 to 25 win team.
Right.
Is the Lakers if they don't have LeBron or AD? Like, I don't think Kuzma's gonna be like, oh, I'm throwing this team on my back. And
Let's go.
It's gonna be 28, 12, and 7 blocks a game from Kuz. That's what it's gonna be. Like Alex Caruso is gonna be 25 and 10 assists, just dishing them.
25.
Caruso and Maravich. Caruso's the new Maravich.
25
That's-
putback dunks from
Yeah.
Alex Caruso.
Yeah, no, and then like Jared Dudley reaches the fountain of youth. No, that's my thing is that the Lakers are not a good team. They're
Right.
players that were good 5 to 10 years ago, and then there's LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But with the Clippers, it's like they have they have young talent, they have medium-aged talent.
They have a good mix. They have a good blend of
they
youth
have a
and
good
veterans.
ass team with possibly the best basketball player in the world and like the 8th best.
And then like another
basketball.
top 10.
Yeah.
So then, last thing, are you going to buy a pair of Kawhi's New Balance shoes?
No.
No? Never?
No. I don't like New Balance. New Balances, I'm not.
You haven't
maybe in,
tried
like,
them?
25 years, I've tried New Balances on.
You haven't tried the basketball shoes?
I don't give a shit.
You
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna
to
wear New Balance basketball shoes.
step to the court in a pair of Kawhi's?
No.
The ominous ones?
No. I almost bought those Raptor ones. Those
That's
purple
what I
ass
thought.
ones, but I was like, these are dumb. They're New Balances. I'm not a 55-year-old man who's like getting ready to mow his lawn and shit.
The fresh cut grass ones.
Yeah, exactly. No New Balances for me.
Alright, well, on that note, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And we will be back soon with more news.
A triple-double is the accumulation of a double-digit number total in 3 of the 5 categories in the game. The most common way to achieve a triple-double is through points, rebounds, and assists.